So, Mirage of Nightmares come back to one on the next ban list. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Now, for those of you that have forgotten what in the world Mirage of Nightmare is, it is an amazing spell card that gives you this ability to draw up until 4 cards in your hand during the next, or your opponent's standby phase. And you're probably like, oh, okay, cool. It says draw 4, Robbie, but okay. And then you discard the same number of cards you drew during your next standby phase. So, it's a spell card that you have to activate it on your turn. You have to go through to your opponent's standby phase, trigger the draw, and I'm going to lose those cards during my next standby phase. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, it's a spell card. I can draw 4 cards during my opponent's turn. That's 4 potential hand traps that we could draw. Why, yes, you are absolutely correct on that, Duelist. I will credit you all the way on that thought, actually. That's a good one. All right, in a perfect world where you could draw 1, 2, 3, 4 hand traps here off of this card, that's great. My problem is it's a continuous spell card. It's basically unsearchable unless Pot of Prosperity is involved. This just doesn't seem like something people are going to want to play, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Has very much become this game of, hey, you know, why would I want to play a card? Because now if I'm going first, sure, I can draw some resources during the opponent's turn, but this does nothing to fuel my strategy or anything like that. That is absolutely correct. I will give that to you all day long. As a one-of coming back to the game, I am perfectly fine with Mirage of Nightmare doing its thing. I think if you high roll this card, and you're able to draw 4 hand traps off of this, and on your turn, you're like, okay, cool, you know, I'll lose the card I drew, you know, I'm kind of in this whatever situation. Okay, congratulations, you pulled off probably the best combo line that you could probably ever actually do. But honestly, I've been sitting here all day, and I don't see a reason why Mirage can't come back at this point. The way that the card functions and its draw power, it doesn't really do anything too bad. I mean, sure, yeah, you draw 4 cards and then you have to send 4 cards. But, like, unless I'm sending this before the standby phase effect is resolving, I get to keep those cards, then that's fine. But that means I'd have to play things like Emergency Provisions, MST, Cosmic Cyclones in the main deck. And if this card just comes back to 1, then, you know, this card's worse than Grass Looks Greener. And the speed duel printing of this has kind of made me sit back here and go, hey, I don't see a problem with this. Like, this is what this whole debate was today. You know, we got the new speed duel reveals. People were kind of running around going, oh, Maxx C's coming back again. And then they kind of changed their tone mid-afternoon. They're like, oh, Mirage of Nightmare's coming back. This card's so broken. And it is not. Now, if you were start to moving Mirage to, you know, if you're trying to push this card to like 3 straight off the bat, then we're kind of getting into the questionable zone out here, because with multiples, that now means I can draw the card easier, and that's kind of the thing I don't really think you want to do with Mirage. Maybe a 2 of, but I'm all fine to bring Mirage of Nightmare back. I don't think that the card is going to really wreck the game in any sort of negative connotation. It's just one more spell card that gives you some filtering power during the opponent's turn. Like, that's kind of it. And it's got a built-in restriction clause on it of only going up to 4. So, you know, I don't think it's too terrible out here. So if you wanna laugh at me for saying that, I think that's okay. Maxx C, oh boy, here we go again. I want to touch on this again for a second out here, because I do want to remind people that, yes, we do fully understand that Maxx C is receiving a reprint out here in this upcoming thing. I don't expect the next ban list until about 4 weeks from now. Once we probably do receive that list, I would probably expect a lot more insanity to kind of ensue. I could see the TCG doing the most TCG thing ever, though, and being like, hey guys, we're going to put Maxx C to 1. It's okay. You guys got 9 Malcharmies, you guys can have 1 Maxx C. Maxx C coming back, I don't think I don't think they would use it as a selling point for this set. I'm going to be honest with you, because we've had Dandelion come back in the past. You know, we've had so many cards come back into circulation that they put into Speed Duels at this point that, you know, well, they've had so many cards put into Speed Duels that have not come back. Correction there. You know, Dandelion being one of those. I think multiple Maxx Cs is a problem. And I think everybody agrees with that. I think one Maxx C is massively sacky. But, you know, for the chaos of the format, screw it, let's bring one back. Let's see how people quiver underneath the unstoppable power of the cockroach. I don't think it would end the game. You could not do 3, and 2 kind of puts us into that really weird position that the OCG is in right now, which, you know, it's become apparent even more over there that if you draw it, you're just getting sacked even harder. And I don't necessarily like that. Leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I think we've all kind of, we've seen that so far. Just, if you draw the Maxx C, just mulch army, and then go ahead and Maxx C, and then your opponent's just going to look at you and go, oh, okay, yeah, you're better than me. Yeah, that's literally the experience in the OCG right now, and it is absolutely atrocious. All right. I also want to talk about Bonanza here for a sec. I know we've been milking Bonanza to a ground, but this set just has been the most entertaining thing in the world. Since we're talking about ban list speculation out here, I think a lot of things that we've recently seen in Bonanza, I think are going to be things that we're going to see rotating back on the next future list here. I mean, the primary caretaker, or the primary look has been at Heavy Storm. You know, a lot of people have been like, yeah, Heavy can come back at this point. Like, there's really no reason to keep Heavy locked up. And I agree with that. I really do. I don't see a world where, you know, we really have to keep Heavy Storm removed from the game. Yeah, it's an incredibly... It's one more spell and trap destruction that people have to deal with, but you got to remember, it's a 1 in the OCG, and the OCG is not even really batting an eye at it, you know? The TCG would rather just play Lightning Storm because it's better multi-purposing tools than, you know, kind of throwing things at that. And then, you know, you've also got the debate right now on, you know, Premature Burial. If Premature came back at this point, you know, is it going to be a broken card? I mean, yeah, we have Hidden Armory interactions. And I guess, like, ooh, Minkanko could, you know, get some use out of it. Yeah, sure. That's fine. Let Minkanko have, you know, a Saki Monster Reborn for 800 that I guess that they can search in Archetype, you know, via equips or whatever. Like, I don't see... I can't believe I'm saying that right now. You know, Premature has been the culprit of a lot of loops. And I'm sure, you know, we could probably cook up something broken with it. But, you know, a lot of these ban cards that we are seeing are 150% former shells of themselves. Now, unfortunately, you know, you have outliers where the errata just, you know, Imperial Order is still as crazy as it is. I don't think Cold Wave's going to come back. A Dimension Fusion in return, I don't see, you know, getting spots back into the game. But there are things in Bonanza right now that, you know, especially with all of these buyouts that we've been seeing pop off each and every single day. Like, every day it's a different buyout happening on Bonanza. And it's crazy just to see what is happening with this and to see, you know, where people are popping off and deciding this is where I want to go. This is where I want to invest in this set. And we're going to continue to see that, I think, up through Black Friday. So, you know, speculation aside out here, you do need to be watching Bonanza. You need to be watching this and you need to make decisions on what you perfectly think could come back to the game. All right? There's always this thing called being prepared for this sort of things. I mean, sure, nothing could come back, but your likely candidates are Heavy Storm, Premature Burial, and I'm sure there's something else in this set that just kind of, you know, piques players' interest going, oh, that'd be interesting. It's the same thing with Mirage or Nightmare. You know, Mirage is one of those cards that I really don't see a broken application for right now. Yeah, draw 4 cards during the opponent's turn is a little bit, you know, up there for sure, but I don't see it. I really don't. So, for all intents and purposes for this video, you have a couple of things you need to keep an eye on. There's always going to be things that Konami can do that can be, woo, I didn't see that one coming. But I think when you kind of narrow things down a little bit, I mean, MX Saber Invoker, probably no Summon Sorceress. I don't know why Konami hasn't done that one yet, but MX Saber Invoker and, I guess, our dear old friend Summon Sorceress are still locked up in Konami Purgatory for whatever reason. I don't know, man. I don't have the answer to these things. I'm just here to speculate and be entertained by, you know, Mirage and Nightmare actually being a viable card again. Huh. Wow. What a time to be alive. sure you guys stay hydrated. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.